Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Happy Sunday to all of you. In today's video, I will be mainly focusing on the situation with illegal migration. I will present to you a lot of short clips that I came across on Instagram. Very interesting one, some of which are the stories of the business owners, hotel owners, for example. And they will be sharing with you, with me, with all of us, how much they have been offered to take in to their hotels, to their estates, illegal migrants. What is the tempting offer that government gives them to convince them to take in those people? Of course, mainly, if not only, military age men. But I will start this video with something else. I came across this article, guys, that is from Polish website. It's about the suicides that Polish farmers are committing in a very large numbers. So let me read you to you, because this is really sad. And I hope it would not be taking place, because, you know, farmers are so important, and we, especially in Poland, we had very, very strong movement from farmers. As you probably remember, it was, I think, over a year ago, the strikes against Green Deal. But let me read you this. The Polish countryside in a mental crisis, thousands of farmers take their own lives. Dramatic data did not make it into the public debate. Farmers are increasingly taking their own lives. Are we dealing with an epidemic of suicides in the countryside? So let's read this. According to the data contained in the interpellation of MP Jarosław Sachajka, every year almost 600 farmers take their own lives. This is Poland, in Poland. And an additional 300 to 350 cases of suicide concern their family members living on farms. So we are talking about almost 1,000 human tragedies a year. It's really heartbreaking, you know, when you think about it. Really, really heartbreaking. According to statistics, nearly half of all suicides in Poland take place in rural areas. To make matters worse, access to psychological and psychiatric help in these regions remains extremely limited. Depression, the invisible killer. According to the forecast of the World Health Organization, that's another organization, purely evil. By 2030, depression will become the most common condition in the world. Yeah, because it's by design, isn't it? What laws they are implementing, what things they are creating in the world to make sure that this depression is growing bigger and bigger. In Poland, the problem is already growing. Over the last 10 years, sales of antidepressants have increased by as much as 59%. Depression often develops over years unnoticed. It manifests itself not only in chronic sadness or lack of energy, but also in sleep disturbances, lethargy, anxiety, sorry for my pronunciation today, guys, pessimism, and suicidal thoughts. They are the ones that led to tragic decisions, especially when the patient has no one to turn to. Farmers are particularly vulnerable to depression due to the nature of their work. So let's just read one more part. This is about the Green Deal. That is one of the reasons for the crisis. Worrying data are also coming from abroad. A report by the European Agency for Safety and Health at Work shows that farmers are one of the most vulnerable occupational groups in Europe. And of course, you know, they are trying to destroy them. It's like one of the top priorities, right? To destroy farmers. The agency lists 3 main reasons among the reasons: administrative pressure, economic instability, and excessive regulatory requirements. Yeah, that's actually true what's in this article as far as the pressure and economic instability, absolutely. Related to the orders from, for example, the EU's Green Deal policy. Many farmers are not able to meet these expectations, especially without real support from the state. The situation is particularly dramatic in France and Ireland. In France, and on average, one farmer takes his own life every 2 days. In this occupational group, the risk of suicide is more than 43% higher than in the rest of the population. Among farmers over 65 age, right, 65 years old, it more than doubles, and men working in agriculture are 20% more likely to commit suicide than those in other professions. Really, really heartbreaking. You know, I don't think I ever came across an article about this topic, which it's overlooked. But those people living in big cities, they forget like how we get food here, right? If we don't have farmers, if we don't have those people who commit their lives, their energy, their time to go and work and take care of the food and, you know, animals, and make sure that their farms are producing and they can deliver and sell those products, what people gonna eat? The bugs, right? I mean, I don't believe it will happen, but this situation, as far as bugs, that's what I'm saying, because people will ultimately refuse that. But it's really hard to read articles like this, guys, and especially when you think those people live in nature, and nature is very healing for humans, and even that doesn't help because the rules, the regulations, the pressure, and the economic situation, like it was mentioned, it all affects those people so much. It's really hard to think about it. Since we are on the mental situation, mental condition, and people needing help, this will be a clip that I came across on Instagram. I will share a lot of those today with you. In this one, you will see those children who came to United States, who crossed the borders. I think mainly those are the illegal migrants and their children. They have been provided a number, a call center to call if they need any help. They have been provided shelter in those families, the temporary families, and the number, they were given the number just in case if you are not being treated the right way or something goes wrong, you can call this number and ask for help. So let me play this video because this is another heartbreaking story, but that's how they human traffic and do other nefarious things. And the number of those children that is mentioned here, it's big. Of course, we know there is more children missing. We're talking in hundreds and hundreds of thousands. Let me take you to this video. 1 second, let me just find it. And I'm gonna play it. I have a lot of those open today, guys, so just bear with me. Okay, great. I found it right away. So let me play it for you.
You're telling this committee that the Biden administration, while they were letting all of these unaccompanied minors into the country, and as we've talked about today, they weren't keeping track of them, they issued these kids a hotline that they could call if they had trouble with the sponsor family that they were put with. And you're saying that 65,000 calls to this hotline designated to protect these kids went unanswered? Is that what you're telling this committee?
Yes, sir.
Wow. That is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Do you know how many staffers the administration assigned to answering these phones and helping these kids? One staffer? Any idea how many hours a day this staffer was working?
No.
Maybe that's why there were 65,000 calls that weren't answered from these little kids, huh? Unbelievable. So you're telling this committee
65,000 calls, guys. 65,000 calls and one staffer to answer it. Again, by design, right? Clearly, it's obvious, don't you think? It's obvious. 65,000 calls. Maybe there were several calls from the same child, but nevertheless. And how many children were not even able to make that call? I'm sure majority of those who called have been trafficked. I'm absolutely certain about it. So now let me take you back to Poland for a moment again, then we will travel a little bit across Europe. So exactly a week ago, I'm not going to play the sound of this video just to show you, because this is mainly for the presentation of those protests. Exactly a year ago on Sunday, we had in Poland protests in almost 100 cities. I'm not sure if they reached the number of 100 cities. Those protests were against the illegal migration. As you know, about just one case that I reported about that girl Claudia that was so brutally killed by the illegal migrant in Toruń. But there were many other cases of different nature, killing people, attacking people, etc. So we have those protesters gathered in most of the cities. This is actually in Szczecin, my hometown. And as I was walking that day on Sunday, I actually I joined them in one of the places where they gathered. I was listening to what they were saying and how the courts are not treating them the right way, how they are attacking them, how they are after them because they are simply trying to protect the border and protect this country from illegal migration. But this was a big movement, everyone. You know, this was all across Poland. It shows you something, doesn't it? It does show you something. I think a lot of people is still not aware how dangerous it is, the illegal migration and what can come with it. Some people don't believe it. Some people, you know, they don't see it on media because media is, of course, not reporting the truth. So they are not aware of the truth, what it really means when they will allow all those people to come in. And that's why you have to do the research and you have to follow different platforms and look at different videos. And now let me take you to United Kingdom, mainly to the UK, but we're going to start with Scotland. So as you know, Trump is visiting Scotland. Actually, one of my favorite places in the world is Scotland. I know some of you are from there, so hello to you. I absolutely love Scotland. I love the energy there. Very beautiful area, something very mystical and different, and historical place, of course. You can see some pictures from my travels to Scotland on my Instagram if you follow me. But now let's go to Trump. So Trump is in Scotland. Maybe you've seen this video, maybe you haven't. He's talking about illegal migration as he was asked by one of the journalists about that issue, particularly in Europe.
But on immigration, you better get your act together, or you're not going to have Europe anymore. You got to get your act together. And we, you know, as you know, last month we had nobody entering our country. Nobody. Shut it down. And we took out a lot of bad people that got there with Biden. Biden was a total stiff. And what he allowed to happen, but you're allowing it to happen to your countries. And you got to stop this horrible invasion that's happening to Europe, many countries in Europe. Some people, some leaders have not let it happen. And they're not getting the proper credit they should. I could name them to you right now, but I'm not going to embarrass the other ones. But stop. This immigration is killing Europe. And the other thing, stop the windmills, killing the beauty of your countries. Thank you very much, everybody.
All right, so there was Trump, and he just said it like it is because that's what it is. That's what's up. Now let me take you to a number of short videos that I came across. Since, you know, when you hit something like you like it, then the algorithm recommends you another one. And there is so much evidence from people, regular people, who are reporting, showing the truth that media will never show you. So first, let's go to England. And you will see, let me just find it, guys. One of the workers who used to work in those hotels that are designated to be for the illegal migrants. Let me play what he has said. Just one moment. Sorry, I'm all over the place today because I have so many videos prepared for you. So let me mute myself now and let's take a listen. He's telling us how those hotels really look like inside, what those people have been provided, and the treatment, etc.
So these hotels, they pay £2 million each year to house the immigrants. There is 170 housed in the Brook Hotel, all males from all different places. Now, when they first arrive, they get a choice of Samsungs or iPhones. Now, as most people know, neither of them phones are cheap. Now, obviously, they're all paid for by the taxpayers of this country. They get £70 cash every week into their pocket, as well as all their meals, washing, rooms cleaned for them by the staff each day. There was events where a knife was found in a room under a pillow during cleaning time from housekeeping team. Now, the knife that was found was from our own kitchen at the Norwich Hotel. They get NHS visits, dentists twice a week. Now, as everyone knows, you can't get a dentist appointment or a doctor's appointment. It's just impossible. And they got a choice of food, so they'd have 3 options each night, each lunchtime, each morning. There was a young lad, he didn't like what was on offer, so he assaulted a member of security just because he didn't like the food he was offered. It's not racist, it's right. It's as simple as that, and that's as far as it goes. But people need to stand up and actually start back in their own country, because if not, it is going to get taken over, and your kids and your wives, they won't be safe to walk down the road, they won't be safe to walk home from work. So yeah, everyone stand up and actually get a backbone.
So that was from the insider. To get a backbone. I think there are some people who are getting the backbone, but don't you think it's going to be very hard to stop at this moment? However, you can still stop it. Let's go to the next video. This is the owner of the Camelot Castle, who is in Cromwell, I think, Cromwell area. Am I saying this correctly? That region of the UK. Who has a hotel in Camelot Castle, historical hotel, and he's going to tell you what he was offered in exchange to take in those illegal migrants. He refused that offer, but he's gonna give you the details.
A request from the Home Office to house migrants. What did they offer you and why did you turn it down?
Well, it was a considerable amount of money, Beverly. It was probably double what we would normally make on a good year, because they offered full occupancy on a rolling contract for a year.
So how does that work? Somebody literally just picks up the phone to you, or do they send you a letter?
They sent us a letter first.
Right.
And to be honest with you, I thought it was a joke. And
because of the amount of money they were offering.
Well, I just couldn't believe that the government wanted to put, illegal migrants up in 4-poster beds.
Yeah.
At Camelot Castle. I mean, it was absolutely remarkable. It would have destroyed the village, because one of the things they said is to lay off all the staff, and all but 2, because they do meals on wheels. You clean the rooms once a week.
You're probably a big employer in the village.
Well, a major employer in the village, and locally, and of course those jobs in a village like Tintagel, they wouldn't be replaced.
No.
So, but also they would have stacked the place up with about 300 people, and you then have those people wandering around the village. I don't know whether they intended to contain them or whether they would be allowed out and about. I know in other areas, certainly hotels in Newquay have had some serious problems, because there were a few hotels that did take the migrants there.
Presumably people who stay at your hotel then spend their money in the village.
Well, of course they do. They do spend their money there, and it would have destroyed the local economy. It's hard to say how many hundreds of thousands of pounds our guests spend in the village, but certainly a fair amount. But it's also the cultural degradation that goes along with this.
You refused a request from the Home Office to house.
Well, so I absolutely applaud his courage and saying no, refusing to do it. But he mentioned so many important things here, right? John Mappin, actually, his location, his castle was something that I was aware of about 5 years ago already, and it's on the list of my places to visit. I hope I can still do it, because with the situation in UK, how it looks like now, you might not want to go there too much. But he mentioned the way how it affects the culture and those small regions and, you know, small businesses that are in those villages. He's absolutely right, because if he would allow those people, 200, 300, whatever, to be there, how they will absolutely overflow that small village, that small town, how that will affect the safety, the businesses, the culture, enormous. Now, why do they really come? That's the question, right? We kind of know why, but here is the video. Here is the video. One of those people, and I'm not saying all of them have the same agenda, but I'm sure there are quite many who have similar agenda. That's why they come here, or they were told to go to Europe. Here is one of them answering the questions, why he's in Europe, what does he really want?
I'm not here to tell story, I'm here to rule. Fucking rule.
To rule?
I'm here to rule. To rule you, to rule Trump, to rule Elon Musk, to rule Netanyahu, to rule Jews.
Okay.
Yep.
Right. That's
with that attitude.
What a strange thing to say.
Hmm.
It's
a very poor attitude.
You're a great guest. You're a great guest in this country.
No.
You're a great guest.
What guest?
Yeah, so you're a guest here. And you're saying you want to rule us.
This is my land.
Is it? Is it? Okay, got it. Okay. Millions and millions of people are our responsibility.
Sorry, say that again.
This is Allah's land. The whole world is. Listen.
UK.
Why do you have so much pride? UK. Listen and answer me, people. The whole world, everything which is in your consciousness, your consciousness is limited, man. This is why you are talking. This kind of,
so the whole world is Allah.
Everything is Allah. What is world? World is. So world is a planet. Earth is this man.
It's quite common. Around the UK, it's quite a lot.
So these people do it. Huh?
Well, yeah.
It's been reported on.
Yeah.
Report. The report. So report.
The police crime statistics.
There's quite a lot. There's quite a lot.
Police are liars.
Uh-huh.
Why do you want to hear my story?
It's quite.
So I'm not sure if you were able to see this video. It was flowing, it was smooth, because from my side, I had some issue with internet for a moment. I hope you did. So I don't think he's only one who says those things. I think there's quite a number of them, while questioning the fact if he's mentally healthy, but maybe he is mentally healthy. Maybe this is exactly the way how he looks at things. Again, I'm sure he's not the only one. And I have the last video for you. This time, this will be from United States. Someone describing the treatment, the health treatment, as a matter of fact, a surgery that has been provided to one of those illegal migrants in the United States. So let's look at this one.
Room with an illegal immigrant from Pakistan. It was me and my partner, and I remember the doctor turning over to me and asking me, do you know how much this is costing the US government? this surgery. He was getting open heart surgery. It's costing over $200,000. This person is an illegal immigrant, and U.S. citizens have to be on a wait list. Some of them just waiting to die. They had his chest pried open with these metal things, and I was standing above his head, and I could literally touch this detainee's heart. He looked at me and said, "This detainee, before we administered the anesthesia, before we put him to sleep, he was saying that if indeed he died, to remember that he hated America."
That is crazy. You get in a free open heart surgery that costs $200,000. Yo, I hate America. I mean, this is just, I can't even really believe it. I'm stunned to even hear that. But then again, I can't really be surprised anymore. You hate America so much. Okay, how about this? How about no surgery and you go back to where you came from? That is crazy.
I was in the operating room with an illegal.
All right, so why I play this to you, because I know some of you probably say, how do we know that he said, I hate America, right? Well, maybe he didn't. Maybe he did. But the fact here is this, that here is a man who came in legally. He's having a procedure, a crazy expensive one, surgery. Meanwhile, there are hundreds, thousands, maybe 100,000 of people waiting for the same treatment, who are the citizens, who pay the taxes, who are Americans. This is not just in US, this is in Europe, this is in so many countries. So what the heck, right? What's going on, everyone? But media is not going to report this. Media is not going to show this to you. They will not bring it up. If not the social media, you will never come across those videos unless there is a very horrific crime committed by one of those people. And then they will mention it, probably sugarcoat it. Again, unless people protest against what they said, what was the information, and they will talk about this story so much that media cannot hide it anymore because the truth overrides the lies. And I think this is the way to do it. We have to use this power that we have. We have to use those phones that we have, the social media that we have, for that reason nowadays. I think this is how you actually take advantage of this, what they were trying to use against you. Because, you know, the social media, the addiction, the control, the mind control, this is another psyop for humanity. We know this. But now how can we be wiser and how can we take advantage of it, use it, and turn it around? Because this connects us, this shares the information, this helps us to see what's going on and unite people, even though, of course, they are divided. But the more they see, the more truth comes out, the better. This is what I think. This is my opinion. Let me know what you think. And let me know how it is in your country and where you're watching from. How is the situation there? Maybe you have some stories you would like to share. I'm sure some of you do. I will attach the links down below in the description box, not to the Instagram because this is different. And thank you so much, guys, for watching. I really appreciate that you joined me this Sunday. Make sure to hit thumbs up. It really helps with the algorithm. And if you haven't subscribed already and you appreciate the content I provide, you're welcome to subscribe. It's free of charge. Leave the comments. I really appreciate them all. And if you choose to support my work, the best way is to donate on PayPal or become my Patreon. I have Patreon account as well as locals. And you can also choose to become a member of my channel. And that's all for today. Lots of love. And remember, we are the leading edge and we are saving humanity. And I see you in another video. Be safe and have a great Sunday.